Welcome to the Explainer. Look, today we are breaking down a tournament that is literally ripping up the modern football rulebook. Seriously, if you follow the global game at all, you already know we're standing on the edge of a massive watershed moment. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is dragging us, kicking and screaming into the 104-match era. And honestly, the sheer scale of the logistics here is just mind-boggling. We are so incredibly hyped to get into the tape with you guys today because everything you thought you knew about how a World Cup operates is completely changing. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into the numbers. 1,248. I need you to actually process that number for a second.
It's insane, man. The final squad lists are confirmed by FIFA, and exactly 1,248 players are packing their bags and lacing up their boots for North America.
Right, and as analysts, looking at a player pool this absolutely massive, it completely changes the game. It totally alters how scouts operate, how managers plan their rotations, and how we as fans even track the competition. We've literally never seen an influx of players quite like this in a single tournament. And with a player pool that deep, they're going to need a lot of space. We're looking at a massive tri-host setup kicking off on June 11th.
Yeah, the geographical spread is wild. We've got 11 stadiums locked in across the United States, which, by the way, is also staging the final, plus 2 up in Canada.
But we absolutely have to give a massive shout out to Mexico down south with their 3 stadiums. By opening up those venues, Mexico is making absolute history. They are the first country ever to host matches in 3 separate World Cups. They did it in '70, they did it in '86, and now they are completely cementing their legacy in 2026. But it really begs the question, why do we actually need 16 stadiums spread across 3 massive nations? Simple. It's because of the biggest tactical and structural change in modern football history. 48 teams. Exactly. We are officially jumping up from the classic 32-team format we've all grown up with and love, completely expanding the field to 48 competing nations. It rewrites the entire DNA of the tournament. So how does this actually work on the pitch? Let's rapid-fire the new mechanics. Step 1, you take those 48 teams and divide them into 12 groups of 4. Every team still plays their standard 3 group stage matches.
Right, and here is step 2. The top 2 teams from every single group automatically advance, but so do the 8 best third-place teams. The margin for error in the group stage just shifted entirely.
Which perfectly triggers step 3. And this is the one I am absolutely geeking out over as a tactical nerd. The brand new round of 32. Instead of just 16 teams surviving the group phase, we now have 32 teams entering a sudden death knockout gauntlet. The chaos is going to be elite. And when you blow the doors wide open like that, you get a massive influx of fresh blood taking over the global stage.
The turnover is wild. We've got 357 players returning with World Cup experience, and that includes 22 previous winners. But that number is completely dwarfed by the 891 players making their tournament debut.
Over 70% of the players stepping onto the pitch will be first-timers. It's a total renewal of the global game. We are basically watching an entire generation of unknown ballers getting their first real taste of the biggest stage on Earth. Think about the generational gap that creates. We're mixing grizzled veterans with actual kids.
It's unbelievable. On one end of the spectrum, you've got Scotland's goalkeeper, Craig Gordon, coming in at 43 years old.
And on the exact opposite end, you've got Mexico's Gilberto Mora, who is literally just 17 years old.
That is over a 25-year age gap between the oldest and youngest players in the exact same tournament. We got 22 players under the age of 20 and 7 players aged 40 or above. The locker room dynamics are going to be fascinating.
But hold on, while the kids are arriving, we have to pay some serious respect to the absolute kings of the game who just refuse to leave.
Without a doubt. Argentina's Lionel Messi, Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo, and Mexico's iconic shot stopper Guillermo Ochoa are completely defying time.
They're embarking on a record-breaking 6th FIFA World Cup campaign. 6!
To maintain the elite longevity required to stay at the top of world football for that long is literally unmatched in the history of the sport. We absolutely have to appreciate them while they're still lacing up.
Let's pivot back to that fresh blood, though, because this is where pure football fanaticism really takes over. Expanding to 48 teams allows underdog nations to finally realize their ultimate footballing dreams.
Yes, we are seeing historic first-ever World Cup appearances from Cabo Verde and Curaçao.
And you've got Jordan and Uzbekistan finally breaking through. I mean, if you're a football purist, seeing the raw emotion of these players and fans hearing their national anthems on the global stage for the very first time, man, that is exactly why we love this sport. And if you're scouting the young talent driving these debutant nations, you absolutely have to look at Uzbekistan's anchor. Their dream debut is being headlined by Manchester City's rising star Abdulkadir Husnov. He is going to be the absolute face of their campaign.
He is an absolute monster at the back, but he's in seriously elite company when you look at the youngster stepping into the spotlight. I mean, you've got guys like Francis Warren Zaire-Emery, ready to totally take over the midfield. These are the guys using this expanded platform to become instant global superstars.
It's not just about the absolute debutants, though. The 48-team format has opened the door for some incredibly emotional, long-awaited comebacks.
Exactly. You have Iraq returning to the World Cup stage for the first time in 40 years.
And Scotland, making their highly anticipated return after 28 long years of waiting.
This format just breathes life back into massive footballing programs that have been starved for decades. It gives them another legit shot at glory.
Now, put your tactical scout hats on for a second. The squad makeup across these 48 nations gives us a fascinating clash of footballing philosophies. You have teams like Qatar and Saudi Arabia relying entirely on domestic chemistry. Like, 25 out of 26 players are playing in their home leagues.
Right, they train together all the time. They know each other's domestic game perfectly. But on the flip side, you have nations like Cabo Verde, Senegal, and Uruguay pulling 100% of their squads from overseas leagues.
It's the ultimate debate. Does hyper-focused domestic chemistry beat out the elite individual exposure of playing in Europe's top leagues? I literally cannot wait to see how that plays out on the pitch.
And orchestrating all this madness, you've got the masterminds on the touchlines. We have to give a massive nod to Ghana's manager, Carlos Queiroz.
The absolute tactician. He's heading into his 5th consecutive FIFA World Cup, having previously managed the likes of Portugal and Iran.
That ties in with the legendary Bora Milutinovic as the only coaches in history to appear at 5 straight tournaments. To have that kind of tactical adaptability across completely different eras of the modern game is just staggering. But guys, all this excitement, all the debutantes, all the masterminds, it all crashes headfirst into one brutal reality.
104 matches.
Yeah, we are jumping from the usual 64 matches all the way up to 104, spread over nearly 6 weeks of relentless football.
And this right here is tearing the football world apart. Look, as a fan, I absolutely love it. More football, bigger broadcast reach, unparalleled access to the global game. We are getting a 6-week festival of the sport we love.
But at what cost, man? Put your physio hat on for a second. These guys are already playing incredibly packed club schedules with basically zero off-season. You are going to push elite athletes through a 6-week meat grinder. It is an injury nightmare waiting to happen.
Okay, I hear you on the exhaustion, for sure, but you really can't deny the revenue and the massive expansion of the game in regions that usually get totally ignored.
Sure, but if the top players are pulling hamstrings in the round of 32 because they've played 70 games this calendar year, the quality of the actual football drops. It is the biggest question mark hanging over 2026.
Okay, fair point on the physical toll. But stepping back from the debate for a second, we can both agree that the history being made here is totally undeniable.
Absolutely. Like FIFA said, it's a watershed moment. When you bring 1,248 players together from 449 different clubs across 71 countries, it transcends just being a sporting event.
It becomes an unmatched celebration of global unity and diversity. Despite the grueling schedule, it's going to be a spectacle completely unlike anything we have ever seen in our lifetimes.
So we leave you with this to chew on. When that final whistle blows in the United States, what is the ultimate verdict going to be? Does a grueling 104-match World Cup push these elite athletes way past their breaking point?
Or does the expanded field, the underdogs debuting, and the sheer massive scale make it the greatest, most dramatic tournament we have ever witnessed? Drop your takes in the comments below, because this is a debate that is literally only just getting started.
Thanks for joining us on This Explainer. I'm your host.
And I'm your co-host.
We will catch you guys on the next deep dive. Keep the game beautiful.